Alright, so I'm up at the library. I am absolutely killing myself trying to run around and do all this stuff that people expect me to do. Meanwhile, I don't show up and take it seriously if they show up at all. So what am I dealing with here? Having absolutely no help, literally nobody who tries to understand. Y'all got ideas. Well, great, you had a fucking idea. That idea doesn't help me heal. It doesn't help me determine these problems. That guy today, he could have done something, but he didn't. Friday. So, I literally have no help until possibly Wednesday. Is that what it is? Until then, I'm just stuck taking abuse whenever somebody wants to abuse me. Well, that sounds pretty. That doesn't sound like helping out the. Oh, that sounds like wasting time. It sounds like intentionally putting the victim at further risk. These people are aware of the crimes being committed against me. They can see the aftermath of it. He was here in person, and he could have looked at the evidence here in person, but he didn't have time. He had plenty of time to talk, though. Plenty of time to make suggestions over and over and over again. If I agree to do what he wants, is he going to do his job? No. No, he's not. He's going to postpone it till Wednesday. The likelihood of me being harmed between now and Wednesday is pretty significant. That's 6 whole days in this crap hole of a town. That's the thing that sucks about having to rely on anybody that gets a government paycheck. They get paid whether they do their job or not. If they don't do their job, however, and you are one of those people who's depending on them to do their jobs, you're the one that gets screwed. Unless you have a friend or family member to help. See, a friend or family member, if they cared, would have been there with me for that conversation, and would have spoken up during that conversation, and would have been pissed every time that guy wanted to make any suggestion, any whatsoever, that did not include helping to turn in the abuse. Then again, if I had a friend or family member, I wouldn't have to go to any of those services, because a friend or family member would help me to turn it in. And then it would get taken seriously. Instead, my friends know what they do. Anyway, the guy didn't care about the abuse. He wanted to make any suggestion at all that did not include turning in the abuse with the victim or taking it seriously now, today, not a year from today. Not telling me to go to a bunch of places that I can't physically fucking travel to. I can't keep this shit all straight because there is too goddamn much of it. And I tried to show him there was too much of it, but he was too busy with suggestions. And as much as trying to trust the man goes, no, I don't trust him as far as I can throw him, and I can't even pick him up. I don't trust a goddamn one of you. Because there is a 100% chance that you are literally never going to try helping me to turn this in. You're going to talk about it and type about it and say, have you gone here? Have you gone there? How about shut the fuck up? Not only did I go to the places that you fucking sent me to, I had to go alone because you're a fucking asshole. And when I had to go in alone, I was taken advantage of, and those fucking pieces of shit committed crimes against me. But meanwhile, you weren't there because you're a piece of shit. You're gonna be a shit to me whether I do what you want or not. Why don't you try helping to turn this in with me? Why not try being a decent person? Now, when there are allegations of abuse, including assaults against at-risk adults, mandated reporters are required by law to turn it in immediately. And they're not. That guy who came by earlier is a mandated reporter. He is a supposed caseworker. The stuff he was saying he might try to do on his personal time. No, that's his fucking job as a goddamn caseworker. That's his job as a goddamn DHS worker. You're a fucking mandated reporter. That's not your job title or description. That's the entirety of it. That's the most important part of your job. Just like it's the most important part of a fucking police officer's job. Just like it's the most important part of a teacher's job. Or a preacher's job. Or a fucking school nurse's goddamn job. You got to hear him ask if I was diagnosed by the time I was 18. All he cares about is them diagnoses. How about the fucking crimes, you piece of shit? And that's how they fucking get away with this shit. Changing the subject over and over again while you got to sit there and talk nice at them. And they're bullshitting you the whole fucking time. Send him the evidence, right? Well, he didn't do anything worth me trusting him with the evidence. Am I going to try sending him some anyway? Yeah, I have to. I don't have a choice in the matter. When you want to pretend you always have a choice, no, don't be a fucking idiot. A choice between trying to get help, stopping abuse, or committing fucking suicide. That's the two choices I have. Which one would you prefer? Would you prefer helping me? Or would you prefer doing what you're doing now, which is what leads to people committing suicide? I've been forced into a fucked up situation, and all of these government assholes do the same goddamn thing. They don't give a shit about my concerns, even though they're legitimate fucking concerns. They got some magic thing that might happen in 10 goddamn years they're gonna pretend on as an excuse not to do a goddamn thing. And of course, we got this dumb cunt calling himself Zach Walters typing "do a big hit." Well, it's get the fuck out of here, dude. It's to. By the time this guy gets around next Wednesday to maybe doing something, all of this shit will be buried under another week's full of fucking bullshit. See, the most important thing in this scenario, as far as what he's supposed to pay attention to and give a shit about, is what? The safety of the victim and the evidence. Sending me around in circles to places I've already been does not help. Each and every one of these places wants to call themselves a resource center. No, a phone call to another place that's just going to send you around in circles to other phone calls is not fucking help. This is why I need somebody to call with me. This is why it's never okay to make me do this alone. These people will always do that fucking diatribe bullshit. They will always talk over the victim if the victim is a homeless male. They will always try the pushing you on to therapy. And there might be a free something or other for you if you fucking this, that, and the other. In reality, their job as a mandated reporter is to help me turn in the fucking abuse. This person calling himself Asher typed, "What are you smoking?" It's called tobacco. It's called tobacco. I already said it's tobacco. Do you want me to say it's fucking tobacco 500 more fucking times? Is that what you want to hear? It's tobacco. 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 It is tobacco. It's tobacco. 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 It's tobacco. Some troll calling himself AA just got blocked from my channel. Now I got this person called Assure typing, "I'm sorry, please don't hurt me." Fuck you, goodbye. It's fucking horse shit. I ain't out to hurt anybody. People hurt me. None of these places take the fucking assault seriously. They beat around the bush and play fucking stupid. I gotta try to walk to the Shell station. Maybe somebody there. Fuck. I'm not gonna make it to the Shell station either. You see how fucking goddamn much bullshit I have to go through just to try to get all that goddamn evidence up there for the guy to fucking ignore all of it. How about stop focusing on 10,000 other fucking things and focusing on helping me turn in the goddamn abuse? None of these fucking people are listening about the abuse. They just talk over it. Like, if they talk over it, it makes it okay. If they talk over it, it means it didn't happen. If they suggestions over and over and over again, it means they're trying to help. No, it doesn't. That's the problem there. I'm being abused, and then I'm forced into a situation where I'm easy to fucking abuse, where people are going to take advantage of me, and I literally have to let them. It's bullshit. It's Friday. Guy successfully blew me off because there was nobody there to stop him from literally talking over everything I said.
The Text Now subscriber you are trying to reach is not available. Please leave your message after the tone.
I was there all day, darn near all day. When you call back at 3:01 and tell me that you're ready to make that call after you let me know this morning you were down to 1% battery. Dude, it's Friday. Friday at 3 o'clock. Everything's getting ready to close down. You're not going to be able to get anything but excuses. I mean, that's literally as last minute as you can get it. Meanwhile, I didn't get the message until almost 4. Well, after all that stuff was already closed. That's the thing, is you said that you'd be able to have your battery charged, and I get it. life happens, right? See, all these little things that add up to my time being wasted. I'm overwhelmed. I'm overwhelmed with shit like this. People who say they're going to help, and then when it comes time to keep their word, it's their phone's dead. They're too busy. Something always comes up, right? I'm expected to just understand, but literally none of these people will try to understand, will they? It's 4:30. I gotta try to get my computer out of there by 6. See, all these people are doing is fucking sucking my goddamn life away. Procrastinating and wasting time. Sit there in a room with me and work with me. Jesus fucking Christ. Don't force me to do all this goddamn shit over the internet, you pieces of shit. No matter how fucking nicely somebody blows you off, they're still blowing you off. And when you're taking abuse because they're blowing you off, no, it doesn't engender any sense of fucking trust. Look at what happened over at the Safeway. They were all lying pieces of shit. None of them gave a fuck about me. None of them were my fucking friends. Not a goddamn one ever helped to turn in the assaults. Not a single goddamn one at any point. Everybody wants to say, oh, well, why don't you get a new vehicle? Why don't you move somewhere else? Why don't you call this place? Why don't you go to the police? Why don't you go to your friends and family? Why don't you get a GoFundMe? Why don't you get a this? Why don't you get a that? Why don't you fucking help me do those things instead of making fucking suggestions, you pieces of shit? And if your fucking suggestions don't involve looking at the fucking evidence and helping me to turn it in right away, you are a piece of shit and that is it. You're not a good fucking person, you're trash. When you literally forced me to go to junkies to try to get help stopping this abuse, that's on you. That's showing how fucking unprofessional you are. When you want to interrupt me trying to tell you about the abuse, to tell me about all these programs. I don't give a fuck about these programs. I give a fuck about turning in the goddamn abuse. When you want to try to talk about getting me a new car, I don't give a fuck about your talk about a new car. What I give a fuck about is turning in the abuse. And I don't mean 10 years from now. I mean now. While there's still a chance to stop it and to put those people away. I get taken advantage of because my friends and family members don't fucking care. They showed that they didn't care before Natalie died. They showed they didn't care after I hurt my back, matter of fact. That was in 2015. October 18th, 17th of 2015 is when I hurt my back. Had to move out of my shop, move everything into a storage facility, and I hurt my back while moving everything into storage. Trying to do any of the things I knew how to do after that was damn near impossible. So we got someone called Andreas on my channel, typing mean shit. What do we do with these people? Y'all already know it. We take a screenshot to show that it happened. Then we hide user on this channel. Hey, Brian? Oh, damn, you're sweating like a motherfucker. I'll find somebody else to ask.
I'm sweating and I'm pissed off.
A lot of fucking drugs. Nobody else here is sweating. He is sweating really bad. Like, might need some Narcan shortly and might need an ambulance shortly. Thank goodness on the corner that he's standing on, people will see him immediately. Obviously having to try to trust you guys. It's always the wrong thing to do. See, there's supposed to be services out there to help us, and they're all sexist. All of these services will help women, especially women in houses. Homeless men are the most victimized people in the United States of America. If you don't want to hear that. SK Chandler type, okay, I'm back, talk with my attorneys. Okay, SK Chandler. I'm not sure what that's about, but hopefully they'll be able to help you. I mean, as far as when you were talking about your abuse, whatever you were able to talk to about with your attorneys, hopefully it helps end the abuse that you were going through. I haven't checked my emails yet. My phone's almost dead. SK Chandler typed, my landlords are trying to put my family, let me guess, out on the streets? Yeah. Americans can't afford to live today. The only people who can afford to buy a place are people who already own places and don't need another place. SK Chandler type, yup, godly people. Whoa. Well, apparently I'm scary and intimidating. When I say hello, people do the thing. Pennsylvania. Oregon, 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 Oregon. Well, most of the license plates are Oregon right now. The places where I was able to panhandle before Christmas, all the drug addicts moved in there and haven't left since. It's near impossible to get some time on the corner to fly a sign to make some money. Not that it matters. These folks will step on your toes no matter what you do anyway. SK Chandler type, yup, they have 5 houses, and this one had a busted 1977 pipe, not our fault. You're right, that's not your fault. See, here's one of the things about them old pipes, especially an old steel pipe. They'll rust from the inside out. You can't necessarily see how rusted they are on the outside. If you accidentally bump it, it might split all the way down the seam. I don't know why my internet's working right now. It wasn't working in the same exact spot earlier, but whatever. I'm down to 3% battery. So, my phone's probably gonna die shortly, and I do apologize. Now, when you go back and you look at my videos, some days there's only one or two. Some days there's 20 or 30. So in a 6-day period, there's potential for hundreds of videos. Hundreds. Depends on how much abuse I have to take and how much battery I have to record it. SK Chandler typed, they told me to go sleep on someone's couch, floor, motel, or shelter. I've been paying rent in 2 rooms I can't use. Can't charge up all the billing. Alright, I'll do my best. Just be safe. Good to be with you. Thanks for coming to visit. Stay out of trouble or don't get caught. Remember, you are your brother's keeper. And your sister's too. And no victim left behind.